My dear brothers and sisters, in this blessed moment, let us remind ourselves of the immense power and mercy that lies in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Every day, from the moment we open our eyes until we lay our heads to rest, we are surrounded by countless blessings. But sometimes in the rush of life, we forget to pause and connect with the most merciful, the most compassionate. Tonight, I want to share with you a simple yet profound act, reciting one of the beautiful names of Allah 21 times before sleeping. This is not just a ritual, it is a doorway to peace, protection, and tranquility. You see, the name we recite is Al-Wahhab, the bestower, the giver of gifts. When we call upon Allah by this name before sleep, we are reminding ourselves that every blessing we have, every breath we take, and every moment of ease is from Him alone. By repeating Ya Wahhab 21 times, with sincerity and presence of heart, we are inviting divine mercy into our homes, our dreams, and our hearts. This remembrance softens our souls, eases our worries, and guards us from the darkness of fear and anxiety that can sometimes cloud the night. It is a moment of reflection, acknowledging that we are nothing without Allah's generosity. It teaches us humility and gratitude, and it plants a seed of hope that will blossom when we wake up to a new day. So tonight, before you close your eyes, let your tongue gently whisper Ya Wahhab 21 times. Feel the weight of the day lift from your shoulders. Trust in Allah's infinite wisdom and kindness. Know that with each repetition, you are drawing closer to your Creator, and that closeness is the greatest comfort of all. My dear friends, this is a gift we can give ourselves every night, a gift of peace, protection, and profound connection with Allah the Bestower. May your nights be calm, your dreams filled with light, and your hearts anchored in the remembrance of Allah. Allah is the very essence of our existence, the creator and sustainer of everything that surrounds us. The word itself is not just a name but a comprehensive reality encompassing all attributes of perfection and majesty. When we say Allah, we refer to the one who is beyond any comparison, the one who is eternal, self-sufficient, and free from all weaknesses. Allah is the source of all life, the origin of all creation, and the ultimate destination of every soul. Understanding Allah is the foundation of faith. It is through recognizing His names and attributes that we come closer to understanding the divine nature and develop a deeper relationship with Him. Allah is Al-Rahman, the most merciful, whose mercy encompasses everything. He is Al-Hakim, the most wise, whose wisdom governs the universe in perfect harmony. He is Al-Qadir, the all-powerful, capable of anything and everything. Each name reveals a different facet of His infinite qualities, and this helps us to comprehend the magnitude of His presence in our lives. Allah's uniqueness is absolute. There is none like Him, no partner, no equal. This oneness, or Tawhid, is the cornerstone of Islam. It means that every act of worship, every prayer, every plea must be directed to Allah alone. When we turn to Allah, we acknowledge that all control and authority belong solely to Him. This realization brings about humility and reliance, reminding us that our own power is limited and that true strength lies in surrendering to Him. In our daily lives, calling upon Allah's name is a source of comfort and reassurance. When we face trials, it is Allah whom we seek for help. When we experience joy, it is Allah to whom we express gratitude. The name of Allah carries with it a spiritual weight, a connection to something far greater than ourselves. It reminds us that we are never alone, and that in every moment, Allah is closer to us than our own jugular vein. Allah's mercy and compassion are ever present, and He is always ready to forgive those who turn to Him with sincerity. His knowledge encompasses the seen and unseen, and His justice ensures that every soul is treated with fairness. The more we call upon Allah, the more we feel His presence filling our hearts with tranquility and hope. The relationship between a believer and Allah is deeply personal and intimate. It is nurtured through constant remembrance, supplication, and gratitude. In every breath we take, Allah's name is there, guiding, protecting, and comforting us. To understand Allah is to understand life itself, because He is the ultimate reality behind everything that exists. Recitation holds a special place in the life of a believer, serving as a powerful means to connect with the divine and nourish the soul. It is more than simply uttering words. It is an act of worship, a way to bring the heart into alignment with the presence of Allah. Whether it is reciting the Quran, the names of Allah, or specific phrases of Dhikr, the rhythmic repetition and conscious focus invite peace and spiritual healing. The art of recitation is deeply rooted in the Islamic tradition. The Quran itself is called the recitation, reflecting how it was revealed and meant to be experienced, not just read silently, but spoken aloud with care and reverence. Through recitation, the message of Allah reaches the hearts of people in a way that is both gentle and profound. It awakens a sense of awe and humility, reminding us of the greatness of the Creator and our dependence on Him. When we recite the names of Allah, such as Ya Wahhab, it is not mere repetition, it is a form of meditation, a conscious act where each name is a key, unlocking a different door in our hearts. Recitation helps us internalize these attributes, allowing us to embody the qualities of patience, gratitude, mercy, and reliance on Allah in our daily lives. The sound and rhythm of the words have a calming effect, quieting the noise of the world, and bringing our focus back to what truly matters. Recitation before sleep, for instance, is a practice filled with blessings. It allows the believer to end the day with a spiritual connection, seeking protection and mercy as the body rests. In these moments, recitation acts as a shield against negative thoughts, fears, and anxieties that may otherwise disturb the mind. It's a way to hand over control to Allah, acknowledging that He is the best guardian through the night. Moreover, recitation is a means to cultivate mindfulness and gratitude. When we consciously repeat divine names or verses, we become more aware of Allah's presence in every aspect of our lives. It anchors us in the present moment, reminding us of our purpose and strengthening our faith. This mindfulness can transform our character, soften our hearts, and foster a deeper sense of peace and contentment. The benefits of recitation are not limited to the spiritual realm. Science has shown that repetitive chanting and rhythmic vocalization can reduce stress and promote emotional well-being. For the believer, this scientific truth is complemented by the spiritual blessing, making recitation a holistic practice that benefits body, mind, and soul. Through regular recitation, the believer builds a stronger connection with Allah. It becomes a habit, a refuge, and a source of comfort. The repetition ingrains the divine names and teachings deeply within the heart, acting as a light guiding one through the challenges of life and the quiet moments of reflection. Peace is a state of being that every human soul yearns for, yet it can often feel elusive in the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. True peace, however, is not just the absence of conflict or turmoil. It is a profound sense of calm and contentment that comes from within, a tranquility that no external circumstance can disturb. In the life of a believer, this peace is deeply tied to the remembrance of Allah and the reliance on His infinite mercy and wisdom. When we speak of peace in an Islamic context, it is closely connected to the very nature of Allah Himself. One of His beautiful names is as Salam, meaning the source of peace. This means that ultimate peace originates from Him alone. When a person turns to Allah sincerely and with devotion, peace begins to settle in their heart. It is a peace that transcends understanding, one that is not shaken by trials, fears, or uncertainties. Reciting the name of Allah before sleeping, for instance, can be a powerful way to invite this peace into our lives. As the world slows down and darkness envelops the surroundings, the heart often wrestles with worries and restless thoughts. But by focusing on the divine names and calling upon Allah, the heart finds a refuge, a sanctuary where anxieties soften and calmness grows. This spiritual act allows the soul to surrender its burdens, knowing that the Most Merciful is in control and is ever watchful. Peace also grows from the awareness that Allah's wisdom governs all affairs. When we trust in His divine decree, we stop trying to control every aspect of our lives and instead place our worries in His hands. This surrender is not weakness but strength, the strength to accept that whatever happens there is wisdom behind it, even if we cannot see it immediately. This trust in Allah's plan is a cornerstone of inner peace. Moreover, peace in Islam is closely tied to forgiveness and letting go of grudges. Holding on to anger or resentment disturbs the heart and disrupts inner tranquility. But when we turn to Allah in repentance and seek His forgiveness, we open the door for peace to enter. His mercy is vast, and embracing that mercy allows us to forgive ourselves and others, restoring harmony within and around us. Finally, peace is found in connection with Allah, with oneself, and with others. Remembering Allah brings harmony to the heart, which then reflects in how we treat those around us. When peace fills the heart, it radiates outward, fostering kindness, patience, and understanding in our relationships. It is a chain reaction that begins with divine remembrance and grows into a life marked by serenity and balance. Protection is something every human being instinctively seeks, whether it is protection from physical harm, emotional pain, or spiritual difficulties. Yet the greatest form of protection comes from a source far beyond anything this world can offer. It comes from Allah, the most powerful, the protector, whose care envelops all of creation. In the life of a believer, calling upon Allah's names and remembering Him regularly is a means to access this divine protection. When we recite the name of Allah before sleeping, especially names that emphasize His power and mercy, we are seeking His shield over us during the vulnerable hours of the night. Sleep can sometimes bring fears, nightmares, or feelings of helplessness, but invoking Allah's protection calms the heart and mind. It reminds us that no harm can reach us except by His permission, and that He alone is the ultimate guardian over our lives. This protection is not just physical, it is deeply spiritual as well. The world is full of unseen trials, whispers of doubt, whispers of despair, and forces that seek to distract or harm our faith. By turning to Allah through His beautiful names, we build a spiritual fortress around ourselves. This fortress keeps the soul safe from the attacks of shaitan, Satan, and the distractions of the nafs self, allowing us to remain steadfast in our belief and connected to the source of all strength. Allah's protection also extends to our families, our homes, and everything dear to us. When we remember Him consistently, we create an environment where His mercy and care can flow. This is why many scholars encourage the practice of Dhikr, remembrance before sleeping, because it invites blessings and keeps away harm. It is a simple act with profound effects, placing our trust in the One who controls the heavens and the earth. The Quran and Sunnah frequently remind us of Allah's protective nature. He is As-Sami, the all-hearing, Al-Basir, the all-seeing, which means nothing escapes His notice. This awareness should bring us comfort, knowing that we are never alone, and that every situation is within His control. Our recitation is a way of acknowledging His supremacy and our dependence on His mercy. Ultimately, protection through Allah is about surrendering our fears and anxieties to Him. It is recognizing that while we may take precautions in life, the real safeguard is His divine care. This submission to Allah's will frees us from the constant worry of what might happen, and replaces it with calm certainty that He is watching over us. It is a source of great peace to the heart when one truly believes that Allah is the protector, the shield, and the guardian in every moment of life. Al-Wahhab is one of the most beautiful and profound names of Allah, meaning the bestower or the giver of gifts. This name reflects the boundless generosity and infinite grace of Allah, who gives freely and abundantly to His creation without expecting anything in return. When we call upon Allah as Al-Wahhab, we acknowledge that every blessing we enjoy, whether it is health, sustenance, knowledge, peace, or guidance, comes directly from Him. The significance of invoking this name before sleep is deeply rooted in recognizing Allah's continuous bestowal upon us, even when we are unaware. Throughout the day, we may forget how many gifts we receive, the breath we take, the strength in our limbs, the food that nourishes us, and the countless small mercies that keep our lives going. By reciting Ya Wahhab 21 times, we remind ourselves that these blessings are not of our own making, but are pure gifts from the most generous. This name also encourages a spirit of gratitude. When we understand that everything we have is a gift, it humbles us and softens our hearts. Gratitude, in turn, attracts even more blessings, because Allah loves a thankful servant. Recognizing Allah as Al-Wahhab helps us develop an attitude of contentment and trust, knowing that He will always provide what we need, even if it is in forms we do not immediately recognize. Al-Wahhab also reminds us of the importance of giving and generosity in our own lives. As Allah bestows His gifts freely, He encourages us to be generous with others, to share from what we have, and to be a source of goodness in the world. This divine generosity is not limited or conditional, it is pure and overflowing. When we call on Allah by this name, we connect ourselves to that divine flow of mercy and abundance. Moreover, invoking Al-Wahhab before sleeping is a way of seeking not only material provision, but also spiritual gifts, wisdom, patience, strength, and faith. These are the treasures that sustain the believer through life's challenges. By turning to Allah as the bestower, we open our hearts to receiving His mercy and blessings in all forms. In moments of hardship or uncertainty, calling upon Al-Wahhab serves as a reminder that Allah's generosity does not run dry. His gifts are endless and His mercy is infinite. This certainty brings comfort and hope to the heart, especially at night when fears or doubts might try to creep in. The name Al-Wahhab reassures us that no matter what we face, the one who gives without measure is watching over us and will continue to provide for us in ways we may not yet see. Mercy is one of the most profound and central attributes of Allah. It is through His mercy that all creation is sustained, forgiven, and nurtured. When we speak of mercy in relation to Allah, we are referring to a divine compassion that surpasses human understanding, an unconditional love and care that envelops everything in existence. Allah's mercy is so vast that it extends to every living being, regardless of their actions or status. In the life of a believer, turning to Allah's mercy is a source of hope and comfort. No matter how many mistakes one has made or how heavy the burden of sin may feel, Allah's mercy is always closer than our own heartbeat. It is a mercy that wipes away sins, heals broken hearts, and restores the soul to a state of peace. This is why Muslims are encouraged to call upon Allah's mercy constantly, especially before sleep, as it brings reassurance that no matter what has passed, forgiveness and renewal are always possible. The concept of mercy is beautifully reflected in two of Allah's most frequently mentioned names, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Both names derive from the root word for mercy, but each carries a distinct meaning. Ar-Rahman refers to Allah's universal mercy that embraces all creation, while Ar-Rahim signifies a special mercy reserved for the believers. This dual aspect reminds us that mercy is both vast and intimate, reaching everyone while being especially close to those who turn to Him in faith. Reciting the names of Allah that embody mercy before sleep is a powerful spiritual practice. It helps the believer to internalize the understanding that Allah's compassion is the ultimate source of relief from the anxieties, fears, and troubles that often surface at night. By focusing on Allah's mercy, the heart is softened, and the restless mind finds calm. Mercy also teaches us how to live our lives in relation to others. As we recognize the mercy Allah shows us, we are encouraged to extend mercy to those around us, through kindness, forgiveness, patience, and generosity. It becomes a cycle where divine mercy inspires human mercy, creating harmony and peace in our communities. Furthermore, Allah's mercy is the reason for His continuous forgiveness and acceptance of repentance. No matter how far one has strayed, if they sincerely turn back with a repentant heart, Allah's mercy is ready to embrace and cleanse them. This hope is what motivates believers to never despair and to keep returning to their Lord, confident that His mercy will always prevail. Gratitude is a powerful and transformative attitude that shapes the heart and uplifts the soul. In the life of a believer, gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It is a deep recognition and acknowledgement of all the blessings that Allah has bestowed upon us, both seen and unseen. It is an awareness that every good thing in our lives, from the smallest to the greatest, is a gift from the most merciful, and that none of it is truly ours by right. When we cultivate gratitude, we shift our perspective from scarcity and complaint to abundance and appreciation. This shift has profound effects on our mental and spiritual well-being. Gratitude brings contentment to the heart, lessens anxiety, and opens the door to further blessings. The Quran itself encourages us to be grateful to Allah, reminding us that gratitude increases blessings, while ingratitude leads to loss. Reciting the names of Allah, especially those that remind us of His generosity and mercy before sleep, is a beautiful way to nurture gratitude. When we call upon Allah as Al-Wahhab, the bestower, or Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, we are consciously acknowledging His kindness in giving us life, health, sustenance, and countless favors. This practice helps to cultivate a heart that is humble and thankful, even in moments of difficulty or uncertainty. Gratitude also strengthens our relationship with Allah. It is a form of worship that connects us directly to the source of all goodness. When we express thankfulness sincerely, we are affirming our faith and trust in Allah's wisdom and plan. It reminds us that everything, even trials and challenges, can be opportunities for growth and deeper reliance on Him. Moreover, gratitude is not only about recognizing blessings but also about expressing them in our behavior. A grateful heart naturally leads to kindness, generosity, and patience. When we appreciate what we have, we are less likely to envy others or complain about what we lack. Instead, we become motivated to share our blessings and to use them in ways that please Allah. In addition, gratitude has a healing effect on the heart. It softens anger, reduces feelings of resentment, and helps us to forgive. By focusing on Allah's favors, we are reminded that His mercy and care surround us at all times. This realization brings peace and joy, even in the midst of life's challenges. Ultimately, gratitude is a constant journey, a daily practice that enriches our connection with Allah and brings light to our lives. It teaches us to see the world through the lens of blessings rather than hardships, making our faith stronger and our hearts fuller. Night holds a special significance in the life of a believer. It is a time of rest, reflection, and spiritual renewal. Unlike the busy hours of the day filled with distractions and responsibilities, the night offers a quiet space where the heart can turn inward and focus on its connection with Allah. It is during these peaceful hours that many find an opportunity to remember Allah, seek forgiveness, and recharge their soul for the challenges ahead. The night is often described in Islamic teachings as a blessed time, filled with mercy and opportunities for worship. The darkness that covers the earth is not only a sign of Allah's creation but also a symbol of rest and tranquility. For the believer, the night becomes a sanctuary where fears can be calmed and hearts can find solace in the remembrance of Allah. Reciting the names of Allah before sleeping, such as Ya Wahhab or Ya Rahman, is a beautiful way to invite divine protection and blessings into the night. These words act like a spiritual shield, guarding the believer from harm and calming restless thoughts that often arise as the world grows quiet. The repetition of these sacred names brings the mind into focus, directing it away from worries and towards trust in Allah's mercy and power. The night also has a unique connection to prayer and supplication. The Quran encourages believers to pray during the night, particularly in the last third before dawn, when Allah's mercy is said to be most abundant. This night prayer, or tahajjud, is a special time for intimate conversation with Allah, where the believer can pour out their heart, seek guidance, and ask for forgiveness. In addition to worship, the night is a moment for gratitude and reflection. As the day ends, the believer looks back on their actions, their successes, and their shortcomings. This reflection fosters humility and a renewed commitment to improve and draw closer to Allah. It is a time to release the burdens of the day, placing trust in Allah's care for the hours to come. For many, the night can also bring feelings of anxiety or fear, especially when alone with one's thoughts. This is why the remembrance of Allah is so vital. It replaces fear with faith, doubt with certainty. Knowing that Allah is near, hearing the names of the Most Merciful and the Bestower, provides a profound sense of security and comfort. Ultimately, the night is a divine gift, a chance to reconnect, rejuvenate, and prepare spiritually for the new day, wrapped in the mercy and protection of Allah. Tranquility is a state of deep inner calm and peace that every human heart naturally seeks, especially in times of stress, confusion, or hardship. It is that serene feeling where the mind is free from chaos, worries, and fears. For the believer, tranquility is a precious gift from Allah, one that is cultivated through remembrance, trust, and closeness to the divine. It is not merely the absence of noise or disturbance, but a profound sense of contentment and balance within the soul. One of the most effective ways to attain tranquility is through the remembrance of Allah, especially by reciting His beautiful names. These names carry immense spiritual energy and reflect the attributes of Allah, such as mercy, power, and protection. When a believer recites these names, such as Ya Wahhab or Ya Rahman, before sleep, it serves as a calming balm for the heart and mind. The rhythmic repetition helps to steady the thoughts, turning focus away from daily anxieties toward the comforting presence of Allah. Tranquility is closely linked to faith and trust in Allah's wisdom and plan. Life is full of uncertainties, challenges, and moments of fear. However, a heart anchored in faith knows that Allah's decree is perfect, and that every difficulty is temporary and purposeful. This deep trust allows the believer to surrender their worries, knowing that the one who created the universe is also watching over them with infinite care. Such surrender leads to a peaceful heart, free from the burden of trying to control every outcome. Sleep itself is a time when the body and mind need rest, but it can sometimes be disrupted by stress or fear. The act of reciting Allah's names before sleeping invites tranquility into these vulnerable moments. It creates a spiritual atmosphere where the soul feels safe and guarded, allowing restful sleep and rejuvenation. This nightly practice can transform the way a believer experiences rest, turning it into a time of spiritual restoration as well as physical. Moreover, tranquility is not only for the individual but also ripples out to affect relationships and daily life. A tranquil heart cultivates patience, kindness, and understanding, qualities that build stronger bonds with family, friends, and the community. When we carry peace within, it naturally reflects in how we respond to others and face life's trials. Ultimately, tranquility is a divine blessing that comes from nurturing a constant connection with Allah. It is a precious state that guards the heart against despair and agitation, providing a steady foundation of calm even amid life's storms. Remembrance, or dhikr, is a powerful and transformative practice in the life of a believer. It is the conscious act of calling to mind Allah's names, attributes, and blessings, creating a continuous connection between the heart and its creator. Remembrance is not just a ritual, it is the lifeline of the soul, the anchor that keeps faith alive and vibrant amid the distractions and challenges of this world. When we engage in remembrance, especially by reciting the names of Allah before sleeping, we invite a sacred presence into our lives. This practice reminds us that we are never truly alone, that Allah is near, closer than our own jugular vein, as the Quran says. The repetition of His names brings a sense of peace and reassurance, calming the restless heart and mind as we prepare to enter the vulnerable state of sleep. Remembrance serves many spiritual functions. It helps to purify the heart, washing away the rust of forgetfulness, worry, and sin. It draws us closer to Allah by focusing our attention on His greatness, mercy, and power. In doing so, it strengthens our reliance on Him and softens the heart, making it more receptive to guidance and love. Through remembrance, the believer cultivates mindfulness of Allah in every moment of life, transforming ordinary actions into acts of worship. The night is a particularly blessed time for dhikr. As the world quiets down, the distractions fade away, and the heart has space to turn inward. Reciting the names of Allah before sleep creates a spiritual atmosphere that invites tranquility and divine protection. It is a moment to hand over our worries and fears to the one who is most capable of handling them. This conscious remembrance helps to ease anxiety, promote restful sleep, and prepare the soul for renewal. Remembrance also connects us to the larger community of believers throughout history who have found solace and strength in these sacred words. It is a timeless tradition that transcends culture, language, and circumstance, uniting hearts across generations through the shared love and devotion to Allah. Moreover, remembrance teaches humility. It reminds us of our dependence on Allah's mercy and power. It encourages gratitude for His countless blessings and fosters patience through life's trials. By making dhikr a regular part of our lives, especially before sleeping, we cultivate a continuous relationship with our Creator that nourishes our spirit and protects our faith. Ultimately, remembrance is the key to unlocking spiritual peace and fulfillment. It is a profound act that transforms the heart, illuminates the mind, and guides the soul toward its ultimate purpose, closeness to Allah.